Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here to do What's Cracking reading. Firstly, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. For all the new people on board, welcome. I'm really glad to be able to bring you these messages. And for all the folks that have been around since the beginning, thank you for your loyalty and your support. Part of the big family. Alright, just a couple of little updates. I think there may be 1 or 2 tickets left for our platform event on this Saturday. I'm not really sure, I haven't actually checked in, so I will go back and check in. If you're interested in joining us, we've got limited numbers. We've still kept the payment down really small because it's something we really enjoy and we both feel the value, especially with many of us being in lockdown at the moment. So if you're interested in doing that, it will be up on my Facebook page, and I am doing that with Linda the Psychic Pinup, so have a look out for that. I'm going to run a beginner's tarot on the 23rd of October. Now I've had a lot of demand for the beginner's tarot, so I'm already about half full with that. So if you're interested in doing the beginner's tarot with me, I wouldn't leave it too long before you book. It's a 3-hour lesson. We do achieve a lot in 3 hours. I will have you reading by the end of the 3 hours and trusting what you're reading. And that's on a Saturday morning Australian time, so Australian Eastern Daylight Time it would be then. If you're looking it up, AEDT. I am in the Sydney area if you're looking for where I'm placed, because we do have a few time zones here in Australia. So if you're interested in that, please make sure you book. And the other thing I just want to say is I now have a booking calendar on my website, so you can book your own reading. Many of you already found that. If you book it in, it sort of makes it easier on me if you can book your own, but if you find that the times don't correspond, I may already be booked for those times, but if they're outside of the range that I have up there, please contact me directly and see if I can fit you in where you need to be fitted in. I know not a lot of time zones correlate with Australian time, so it's sort of I have to play around with that a little bit. I do read a lot internationally, so please email me if you're unsure. Alright, so we're going to use the Ethereal Tarot for your reading today, which I always say is one of my favourite decks, still remains so. It's a beautiful deck. I just feel like I've missed something again, but I do this every so often. I feel like there was something I wanted to say and just somehow I've missed it. If I think of it during the reading, I'll come up with it. Oh yes, the coaching program, that's right. Okay, so I'm ready to take on some more coaching people, and as I do each sort of time I've got spaces, I think I want to offer some of the spaces at a half price. So I do offer usually sort of every couple of months a couple of places at a reduced cost. I do 6 lessons, 6 coachings. You do have homework to do with it. I did post a few things yesterday if you want to go back and have a look on some testimonials from people who've done the program. But if you're interested in that, I'm currently offering 5 places, I should say, because I've already had 1 taken up at half price. All right, it is very reasonable. For a life coach, ordinarily you could pay several $100s. I'm only charging that much for the course, but this isn't something I do for the money. This is something I do because I love to see people do well out of this. All right. Let's see where we're going. Oh, nice. What a nice way to start reading. The High Priestess is coming through here. So the High Priestess talks about pretty much anything that's spiritual. She sometimes can be a little bit secretive. It can sometimes be things that are hidden from us and things that are deep within us. And most of the time she's talking about us using our intuition or understanding how to use our intuition. A lot of us lose this ability from a very young age. We don't always trust our inner knowing. And I sort of understood this one time because somebody said to me, when you're a child, your parents don't always tell you the truth, sometimes deliberately so. Sometimes, you know, you may have parents who are ashamed of the way they behave, or just feel that they see their children as commodities rather as human beings. So, you know, for example, if you're a small child who walks into a room and can sense something is going on, or you feel uncomfortable and you say, oh, is everything okay? And your parents say yes when they've been in the middle of an argument, for example. It could be something they do to save you the pain. It could also be something to do because they're trying sort of to disclude you. But what you do then as a child is you think, I've got this feeling in my gut that says to me something is going on. But my parents, who I trust and love, are telling me there's nothing. So therefore I cannot trust this feeling that I have. So a lot of us sort of grow up with this energy of not really being able to trust our inner senses. And it is about awakening those. It is about us understanding. And that's the process we go through when we're awakening. We start to trust our inner self and our inner knowing, or our higher self, or the universe. So there's very much an energy with the High Priestess here that perhaps you're starting to feel like you know your intuition more. Maybe you're starting to understand how to separate it from the ego, and how to trust it. And it takes a little bit. It does, because you are already in your logical mind. You're already in your ego, and a lot of the time you dismiss it. And I talk to people all the time about this. And people, we all have that inner knowing. But we do ignore it. We tend to try and make sense of it, which isn't what it's all about. So I feel like that's why she's coming up, because I feel like for some of you here, you're not trusting something that perhaps you've already manifested. Maybe you're not trusting your ability to manifest. Maybe you are thinking and seeing things, but not trusting that that is actually a real thing in terms of what you're doing. And we all do that as well. Like we dismiss it because somehow or another our ego doesn't want us to get hurt. And this is where the ego becomes a problem, because the ego is a very healthy thing to have because it stops you being hurt when it's necessary. But it also can stop you at times when you need to take risks, or you need to try something new, or you need to trust yourself on something. And we've all done it. I can tell you now, every one of you watching has done it, where you've gone, wow, I knew that. I knew that would happen. Why? Because you felt it and your ego's gone, well, maybe you can't trust that. Might be a bit dangerous. You might get hurt if you trust that. So you go, okay, then, and you put it aside. So I know that every one of you has done that. So the Seven of Pentacles says to me, you're manifesting something here. And the universe is saying you have to trust what you're manifesting, because deep inside you, you know it's the truth. But somehow or another, you keep sliding it aside and somehow not trusting where the universe is taking you. We do have the Page of Swords here. I feel like somehow or another, somebody may, okay. We sort of seem to be stuck on this story lately, but that's the way it seems to be. So the Page of Swords is a card, and I feel like it's really like this here. You've got somebody sort of keeping an eye on you here. You've got perhaps somebody who's interested in you, or I almost want to say keeping an eye on your movements. I feel like this is someone who's really, it isn't stalking in terms of someone being creepily stalking, and some of us have been stalked in that creepy way. It isn't that sort of stalking. It is just someone being curious about where you're at. Somebody maybe just sort of keeping an eye out. I feel like here, when I see these cards, you've got somebody coming in here who may have been keeping a little bit of a check on you for a while. Now, the other thing I can't dismiss here is the fact that you may be keeping an eye on someone else. Somebody that you have a feeling about either likes you or is interested in you. And let's face it, we all do that. We all do it. We're human beings. It's like we like to gossip. We like to do all the human things. But as soon as somebody says them, we go, oh no, I wouldn't do that. So there is definitely this energy of somebody keeping an eye on somebody, but this could be you as well, because you are expecting somewhat, either this person to feel the same, either for them to come towards you or for them to make a move. And you sort of know that in your gut. You feel the connection between the two of you somewhat. And it's sort of like waiting for this to happen, but not really sure if it's going to. But I do have the Lovers card here. So the Lovers card, there he is. Okay. The Lovers card is a card that talks about two people who are being divinely brought together. So whether or not you know this person, or whether that you have some sort of, I want to say a crush or a little bit of a fascination for this person. Like you might be checking up to see if they're married. You might be checking up to see whether they're otherwise engaged to somebody else, or there's something going on with them. So I feel like this is the sort of thing you're doing, but this may be the person doing this to you. But there is something here where you have this unexplainable attraction to somebody. It may be just a crush. It may be more than a crush. It may be feeling like you feel very, very drawn to them for some reason. Now, for some of you, you may not have actually spoken with this person, but I feel like for some of you, you may either work with this person or you know this person through somebody else. And maybe you've met them, maybe you hit it off, maybe you've got some sort of conversation going, but you can't help but thinking maybe they're sort of attached to someone else. But I feel like this person is doing this to you too. We have a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio person here. Okay, so there is a real, okay, so this person is a little bit reluctant to come forward. So they're taking their time here with the Hermit. I feel like this person is very scared of rejection, very scared of, I feel this is why they may be really studying you to make sure that you are available. I do feel this person is worried that if they do approach you, that you may not be interested in them. But I feel like it's mutual with the Lovers card there. I feel the energy between you is probably very much the same. You're not trusting your intuition. Maybe they're not trusting their intuition. But at the end of the day, you're both checking each other out to make sure you're either single or unattached. All right, let's see where we're going. All right, so we have the Artist coming through. Now, it's really interesting. This is one of those cards that there's two cards in this particular deck that aren't part of a normal tarot deck. Now, the Artist, for me, the way I see it, is someone who can paint their own picture. This is someone who is able to sort of take something and make what they need of it. You're working either here with a person who's very creative, maybe a poet or a painter, but it also could be you sort of being able to sort of imagine or paint a future for yourself here, and maybe you see this person as being part of that. But whoever this person is here, they're coming across as very creative. I almost feel a very connected energy, and maybe this is what connects the two of you. Maybe you both have this sort of energy of connection, of really feeling like this person is somewhat connected to you. So either you've spoken to them and you've understood the connection, or you feel just deeply connected. Oh, look at this, Ten of Cups energy coming through. So I feel like somehow or another, especially when I see this, I feel like you're both envisaging or looking towards the future and creating what you feel. So you're already dreaming and fantasizing about this person. I feel like the Ten of Cups is a very good sign though, but I really feel here that your soul and your desires are calling you into this Ten of Cups energy, but you're still doubting whether it is something that can come into being or not. I feel like it does feel like a fantasy for you. And we do have the Six of Cups coming through with the Nine of Pentacles. See, this is that energy of checking someone out. That's what I said. There's a whole energy here of looking to see whether a person's single, you know, what you want to learn about this person. You sort of want to understand who they are and what they're up to, what they're doing. So I feel like you're taking a real interest in looking at them here. But the Six of Cups here for me has a couple of different meanings. So I'm going to sit with and try and go with both meanings at the moment. This again could be somebody from your past, somebody you know, maybe somebody you've crossed paths with in the past. I don't feel like this is a relationship thing, but I do feel you still have some sort of past connection. So it could be that you knew this person a long time ago, but maybe you met this person a long time ago, they crossed your path and you've always wondered about them. I mean, we all have those people that have come into our lives when we've been connected to someone else. That's sort of given us that nice connected feeling. And we sort of go back to them every now and again and wonder what they're doing, you know, wonder what's happening for them on their path. So it sort of feels like that sort of energy here for me. So either you have some knowledge of this person, you may actually have met this person, but it still feels to me like a very distant connection. And I don't mean distant as in time, I mean distant as in you're far away from each other. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the universe is about to step in here and get things going. Four of Pentacles coming through and the Knight of Cups. Definitely. So the Four of Pentacles here sort of makes me feel like you've never actually let go of this person. You've never let go of the memory. It could be somebody that you've only recently met but feel like you have this sort of very strong past life connection with. But you're hanging on to this energy or memory. Maybe they said something that just sort of sparked something in you that you've been unable to put down. But the offer's coming here. The offer's very close here with this Knight of Cups. I feel like the universe is sort of pushing to get the two of you together here. All right, so we have the Queen of Wands, the Five of Cups. Oh, there it is, Ace of Swords. I can't believe how many times we've had this Ace of Swords in that position. It really is like pumping it out this week. Old Ace of Swords energy, which makes me very happy because the Ace of Swords to me is clarity, truth, precision, knowing what you want, going after what you want, you know, being very clear about how you're going to achieve something. And I see the artist here and I feel like somehow or another this is you creating something. You're manifesting, but you're trusting your intuition here. So whatever you feel for this person, whoever this person is, I want to just get some clarity on the Five of Cups. So let's have a look. So I feel like you already have a deep knowing about this person. You have been manifesting. If you haven't manifested them in completely, they're on their way. This is someone who you've both been keeping an eye on each other. You both have a mutual interest. You're both very, very much intrigued by each other. I feel like somebody is coming towards you here. I feel like the universe is pulling them in. They could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This person is very worried about rejection here. But I feel like with the Hermit, they may be taking their time to ensure they get everything right. But it also could be why they're making sure they're doing their homework on you before they come forward. They're still not sure whether you have a love interest or whether you've moved on or whatever. But definitely feeling this energy of this person's not let you go. They've always thought about you. There may have been some sort of disappointment in the past with this Five of Cups here, I have to say. Because with the energy I've got here, it's maybe this person has tried to approach you before or has thought about it previously. But has maybe backed off because it's sort of like I see the Knight of Cups looking at this Knight of Pentacles. And I feel like this person is really worried you've moved on here with this sort of energy. I definitely cannot feel a love connection between the two of you. But I do feel with this Ace of Swords, this person's holding back a truth. Probably a truth of how they feel. So the message is coming with the Page of Wands. We have the Magician, Page of Cups. This person is absolutely wanting to contact you. I do feel they want to make a love offer. I do feel that they have been trying to bring this energy in. They may have been trying for a very long time. I sort of have the feeling with some of you, this may be sort of a little bit, I want to say star-crossed lovers, but more this energy that every time this person comes forward, you may be already in another situation, or every time you go to make a move, they may be in a situation. But I don't feel that either one of you at this stage is in another situation. I feel like you're both single at this time. All right, there is definitely a lot of changes since you... There's been a lot of changes with both of you since you last met. or since you met, or since you crossed paths, whatever it is for you, there's been a lot of changes in both your lives. And I feel this is why you're feeling very drawn to perhaps contact this person, or this person's been very drawn to contact you. I feel like a lot has changed in their life and they're ready here to make some sort of offer. So let's pull an oracle card on that. Somebody asked me what these cards are called yesterday, which is the one I pulled the Palladian card from. And they're from a deck called, I can't remember if it's Shine Your Light, Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. So I have both her decks. They're very beautiful. I love the artwork, but I really more love the messages on the cards. There it is. Mintanken. Longing for home and belonging. Wow. Actually, that's quite interesting. So you may have a person who feels like when they're around you, they feel like it's home. I always get that energy when I'm thinking about the home thing. You know how you meet someone that feels like home for you, like you feel like you've come home, or that you've met a long lost soul. Okay, so it's longing for home, belonging, and it talks about the original light workers. So you may be drawn to this person because you have some sort of connection. If you're a starseed or work with starseed energy, it could be a person from your own tribe here. So Mintankens are a soul group who originated on a planet in the constellation Orion. They were the first stars beings to travel to Earth and believed to be the original light workers. The Mintaken's home planet is thought to have been a water world with water so pure that you could see through it for miles. For this reason, Mintankens feel most at peace and at home when in or around crystal clear water. They are here to teach us to see potential in everything and the light in all beings. Many Mintankens have an odd longing for home and struggle with the feeling like they don't belong. It is thought this is due to their home planet no longer being in existence. If you pulled this card, it could mean that you are a Mintanken or a longing for a sense of belonging, and root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel secure and safe. So I'm wondering here if this is what you're feeling with this person. Maybe you always feel that the connection you had with them was very, very deep. Maybe you feel like you were connected in past life or at some stage or another, because I feel this is what keeps drawing you both back together again, some sort of longing for home. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.